Did you guys see the post I made that Jeff Hill's leaving?
Yes.
That's sad.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So Jeff is for those who don't know, he's the vice president of sales for all of Beachbody. And he's been with the company for 8 years. So he's been around as long as I've been around. I've been a coach. And he's a great guy, you know, so there's going to be big shoes to fill. So
have you heard who might be filling those shoes yet?
If I had to guess, it would probably be Kim Carver.
Okay.
Kim's a great guy, and he's been with Beachbody for a number of years, and I see him moving up the ranks more than anybody else that's there. Of course, they could bring in, you know, an executive from another company. So I'm sure they're looking to bring people in as well. But if they're going to promote from within, I would guess it would be Kim, you know.
I don't recall, did he give an exact date in that email or in that post?
Of when his last day is?
Yes.
No, he didn't. So I don't know how long, you know, Carl's known or whatever. You know, I'm guessing that Carl's probably known for some time, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't expect him to be around probably much more than a couple weeks, though. But you know, I'm not worried at all that it's you know it's the network is going to go on, right? I know that
yeah,
Beachbody is going to continue with or without Jeff. He is an awesome person and a awesome leader of the sales team and stuff. But you know, we're going to miss him most at Summit and in his skits and his videos and stuff. But you know, they'll definitely find somebody else to fill in. So, other than that, any other announcements or anything? You guys saw that the Transform 20 was released last night, right? Yesterday, at like what, 7 p.m. Eastern or something. So, has anybody done the workouts? All three of them? Oh, you tried one? How was it? I haven't tried it yet. I saw Tom. You were doing it. You didn't try it, Tony?
No, I was getting ready to do one this evening. Hopefully there's room in my truck, but I'll give it my best go.
Yeah, you won't have room for the step, will you?
Well, actually, I've got two. I got one at home and one I'm going to bring in the truck with me because I had one from way back years ago.
Really?
And yeah. So, but I wanted the Beachbody one.
Well, yeah. You know, I noticed that the Beachbody one's a lot smaller than the one that I have already. You know, the Beachbody one looks like it's like what 2.5 feet or something. Does anybody have it?
I think it's the same length, but I think you're right. I think it's the step itself is shorter. It's more like a foot instead of, you know, a foot and a half.
Right. The one I have, I think I got it with some other program like Les Mills or something like that, and it's a good 4 feet or something. You know, it's big.
Is that like the gray one that they're using?
Yeah.
That's it.
That one's yeah. So that's the one I already had. So I just kept that one.
Because I was watching the video, I can't do them yet, but I was watching them. And that one looks a lot bigger when you just look at them in the video and try to compare the two.
Right. Did you do it? How was it, Tom?
Oh, it was great. I did the sample workout and then the Transform in 10.
Oh, yeah?
Did them both back to back. It's an excellent workout.
Okay.
I
Awesome.
enjoyed it. Did it with a friend at work.
Cool.
So, he really liked it too. Got me worked up a hell of a sweat.
Awesome. Pablo, I'm sure you've done it, right?
did the sample workout that's on the back office.
Yeah, right.
That's the one that I did. Yeah.
How'd you like it?
I liked it. It got me sweating big time.
I
Yeah.
know. You sweat more than anybody I've ever seen. You're just
Hey, happens. Somebody had to do it.
when you work out in the tropics, right? It's,
Yeah. The humidity doesn't help.
yes, I know. Well, that's cool. So you guys might have seen I was in Utah last week. Speaking of humidity, they have no humidity there. It was like, I don't know, it was like 19% or something. And I think it gets up to 19%, but it was like 0. You know, but it was cold, but beautiful in the mountains there. But I went to Beachbody headquarters. So if you guys saw the pictures I posted and met with, at least I got to meet with Jeff Hill, you know, in his office and talk to him a little bit before he leaves. So that was good. Got to tour their office. So if you guys didn't see the pictures, they got a really cool office. I posted them on, I think in my story and maybe some on my timeline. But they got an awesome gym. It looks like the old P90, I think P90X3 gym right there in their studio or their office, I should say. But it was really fun trip. Got to have dinner with Craig, who was another person who left recently, unfortunately. But he didn't leave. It was just total coincidence that those two leaving at this, you know, similar time. Craig got an awesome opportunity to basically be the VP of all North America for the company that he's now working for. And Jeff says that he has no plans to go anywhere else. He just wants to retire for a while and spend time with his family. You guys saw the post, So anyway, let's talk about, I thought talking about inviting again and Instagram. And I know most of you guys, you know, are familiar with the process that I use or the Instagram Academy training that I did. But I know we do have a few new people in here, so I can, you know, just tell you, I mean, first, who is not using a Instagram service at this point? Like an automated service?
I have it. It's just it's inconvenient because if I've got it in the truck, I don't have its own server.
Right.
So then it eats up I only get like 15 gigabytes of data. So it eats that up in a heartbeat.
Right.
And if I put it on my computer at the house, the power goes out and then it's dead.
Yeah.
I can't restart it.
Well, I would still try, you know, like before you leave, Connie, just turn it on at the house. And what we're talking about is I use a program called Follow Adder, okay? So it runs on your computer, right? And it runs 24 hours or however long you want to have it run each day. I just leave mine on 24 hours a day. And it's basically you're setting up who it follows, right? You're telling it who that you want it to follow, and it can follow hashtags or it can follow followers of people. So, you know, you can put, you know, Sagi, or you can put non-Beachbody people. You know, basically, you want to use it to attract your market, right? So if you connect with somebody or you think that they're similar to you, and it really doesn't matter who it is, but if you want to get their people to start following you, then those are the type of people that you want to put in the feed, right? So if you want to go after Jillian Michaels, you know, you want some of her people to start following you, right? Then you would put her in your Follow Adder, right? So, and then the best thing about it that I use it for is the thank you DMs, right? And for you guys that, like Connie, for example, if you can't use the program, the Follow Adder is pretty cheap, right? It's like what, $40 for 6 months. There is a program that I know a lot of people are now switching to. Samara, I know you did, and I think Wendy and some others. It's called STIM Social. Okay, STIM social, right? .com. And that one I know is a lot more user-friendly, and it's all web-based, so you don't need a computer to run it on. You could, basically it runs in the cloud, and you can even log in from your phone and manage it, I'm sure. And what I've heard, it is more expensive. It's like, you get a free trial, so you guys can all try it out. What is it, $30 a month, Samara?
40, but they have like a $10 a month of 40. They have different packages, and they always do coupons even after the free trial. So
okay. Can you refer somebody to get a discount or something?
I don't know.
Do they have a referral?
No, Wendy said no. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. No, but they give you, the free trial, and then they the
give
coupon. Like what I signed up for this month is free because of the 2 coupons they gave me. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
If you just do the free trial, they give you a coupon before it's finished, and it gives you $10 off.
Okay, ladies.
I did a higher one. Mine was, I did the $100 a month, so it was like $40 off, and then they gave me another coupon. So my $40 one now is free based on the 2 coupons they gave me.
Yeah, I don't think you need to spend $100 a month, right?
I just did it that one time. Because I wanted them to do everything.
Right. Okay.
How do you spell that STEM social? Because every time I've tried to pull it up, I can't find the actual website.
STIM, it's just STIM social.
STIMsocial.com.
Okay, it still won't come up for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's tricky to find it. But if you keep trying and if you keep looking, you'll find it.
It should work. Let me try right now. STEM social.
Wendy, did you get yours back? I saw you.
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
I did.
Okay,
I'll post it in the chat. It works for me.
I went through the internet.
Connie. But okay, so that one is what, $40 a month for the full service that allows you to do the thank you DMs. And what I've heard from a lot of people is that that'll grow your Instagram following even a lot faster than the Follow Adder, which I'm using. So like Wendy, like how long have you been using it? How many new followers have you gotten from it?
In a month, I got about 1,500 new followers. It was really, really fast.
In a month. Okay, that's awesome. And Samara,
probably like 800 or 900. I guess mine has been 2. Yeah.
So say that again.
Probably 800 or 900. I haven't added it, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, between 8 and 1,000 in the last 2 months.
Okay, that's still really good. I've been doing Follow Adder this whole year, and I think I'm approaching 5,000, but that's 12 months, and so Wendy, if she does 1,500 a month, she would have far surpassed me in a year.
So ladies, my question then would be, like I was just explaining to Greg, my power goes out at home, which shuts my computer down. Does that still work in the background, being it's a website?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it's web-based or whatever the terms are.
Yeah.
I just looked mine up too. I signed up 2 days ago, and I got in 2 days 145 followers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay,
It's
that's
amazing.
awesome. So that's step number 1. If you guys don't have a service, get a service. I can tell you, like, every top Beachbody coach is now using this service. So people are probably getting spammed by lots of different people. But The number one reason, not only it doesn't really do you any good to add followers. I guess you got more people looking at your stories and seeing your posts, but the number one reason that I do it is for the thank you DM messages, right? That's basically, it automatically sends out a thank you message that you write to anybody who follows you. And that starts up a conversation, right? And, a lot of what I do is I target people that are already doing Beachbody workouts. So I ask them what workout they're doing. And typically they tell me they're doing a Beachbody workout. And if they're not a coach or working with a coach, I invite them into my challenge group, right? So that's what I do. I get a dozen messages a day back, so the program may send out, if I get 50, let's say 30 followers a day, it may send out 30 thank yous. But if there's only 10 that respond, those are the only ones that I follow up with, right? The people that respond, because I ask a question. I tell them about myself, right? A little bit about me. And I ask them a question, like, what workout are you doing, right? I know a lot of other people like Scotty Hobbs, if you guys haven't heard of him, he's a top coach. Other coach like Dave Atkinson, another male coach. They're using Stem Social, and they're targeting non-Beachbody people. And what they do is they tell them about themselves as a person, like, hey, like Dave Atkins has been with the police force, a New York City police officer for 25 years, whatever. He has so many kids, and he'll ask the question like, what do you do? Something like that. Or he's into fitness and loves fitness. And then he asks the question, what did they do? Right. And what they'll do is that's not the type of person, like if you're just doing a cold message, right? You're not going to be able to close that person or maybe necessarily be able to invite them in the first message. Right. So what they'll do is if they see that person as a good potential client, right, they'll write their name down or put it in a spreadsheet or whatever, and then they'll follow up with them, right, for the next 2 or 3 weeks. They'll just, keep following up, keep the conversation going. And basically using the forming technique you guys remember that? It's from Danny Johnson. It's called family, occupation, recreation, message, right? So you first start out talking to people about family, things that you have in common. Then occupation, what do you do for a living? Then recreation, what do you do for fun? What kind of workouts do you do? And then finally, you give them the message, right? What do you really want them to do, right? Is that invite them to your free group? Is that sell them a challenge pack, whatever, so I think if you are targeting cold market people, when you get around to the message, like what type of workout do you do, that's when you can invite them to try, for example, Beachbody on Demand, or you could tell them about your challenge group or talk to them about Transform 20 or whatever, and invite them into your group, right? So step one, if you don't even have a service, you can do it yourself, but I know most of you guys, you don't have time, right? You don't have time to find 100 people a day and message 100 people a day or follow 100 people a day, right? I mean, Arcadia, you could start building your Instagram following now, right? I mean, I'm sure you probably have an Instagram following already, but one thing that you can do right now, even though you're not a coach yet, is start building that Instagram following. You can go search hashtags of things that you're interested in, biking, whatever, cars.
Yeah, for sure. Because what I realize is when you do post that increases your followers because it makes your Instagram more interesting. And the more you post, the more followers you get. So that's what I realize now.
Yeah, right. So that's one thing that you want to start doing is start just building that following, get as many followers as you possibly can right now. And you can, like I said, you can search hashtags. You can look at who's following things or people that you're interested in, and just start following people. And you could do 100 or 200 a day. But just having that service that does it for you is super nice. And for those of us who don't have a lot of time, it's a huge time saver. So, and then for me, it's like, I think I picked up this month, one lady who wanted to get back into Beachbody. And I just immediately, I think she had a program already. And I started talking to her about what I'm doing Lift For, and talking to her about the Transform 20. And I talked her into getting a challenge pack, like right off the bat, right? It's just like right in our initial conversations when we were talking about workouts. And then she ended up referring one friend who wanted to get a challenge pack. And so I sold her a challenge pack. And then she referred another friend to me who wanted to get a challenge pack, and she's going to buy one from me, this week, supposedly. And I told her, I'm like, you should become a coach, because you're referring all these people to me. You might as well, get paid and do it yourself. So anyway, she said she's not ready yet, but until then, she's just going to refer people to me. So, you guys can, even though like 99% of the people that you talk to maybe aren't interested, you get that 1%, right? That at the very least you can invite into your group, and then at the best case scenario, they could, turn into coaches or buy a challenge pack from you. Or I can't tell you how many people I've talked to that have, decided to become a coach right away, just right from that initial conversation. Just not, chatting back and forth, just from that initial thank you DM. I've had several people become a coach just from that. I've had several people buy challenge packs, I've only known them like a few days, and they, just through talking to them, they're like, yeah, I am ready to get back into it. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for talking to me about it, or yes, I do want to try it. I talked to somebody this week who, to my surprise, I asked, they did tell me that they had done a Beachbody workout in the past or whatever. And I was telling them about Lift For, and I think Transform 20, and they were interested in it. And I'm like, great. And they're like, what's the detail? So I told them all the details, and I sent them a link for how much it cost and all. And they go, great, I want to buy it. And I'm like, awesome. And they're like, is that $160 in Australia? And I'm like, oh, you're in Australia. I should have asked that. So no, they couldn't buy it. But I said, just sign up for Beachbody On Demand, because people in Australia should still be able to get Beachbody On Demand. And I assumed they could still get Transform 20 and pay to unlock it. And I invited them to my challenge group, and they just can't get the supplements, right, or Shakeology, or they can't be my customer. But if Australia opens up, now I've got, this person that I already have a connection to, and they're in my challenge group, right? And I've got people, I don't just pick people up that are in the US, Canada, or UK. I've got somebody in my challenge group who's been in there for like years, who's from Ecuador. I pick up people from Mexico, from, Germany. So,
Greg, that was one of my questions, because with Instagram, you get people from all over. So they can sign up. Can you explain that? So they can.
They can just go to beachbodyondemand.com and they can sign up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But they're just not signing up. You won't be their coach, right? They won't have a coach.
Right.
But like when the UK, remember, like I had like 100 different people like over the years that I had invited to my challenge group from the UK. And that's why when the UK opened up, I messaged them all, right? Because I had already been in connection with them in the past because they had joined one of my challenge groups. And that's how I got, like, immediately I got 3 or 4 coaches who from the UK who immediately wanted to sign up.
Okay.
You know, and so they're going to be opening up. They've already announced that they're opening up new markets next year. So
you happen to know what they are?
I have a feeling they're probably Mexico, South America.
Okay.
But because, you know, they're doing so much with this, they have the Spanish trainers, they've got all the Spanish translations. So I'm assuming that's probably what they're doing.
Okay.
But like Australia, they already speak English. So, I mean, that would be a no-brainer, right? That would be an easy market to open up, just like the UK, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot. I mean, I think Asia will be a long time coming, right? They're not going to open up Asia anytime soon because there's so many different languages and stuff, right? So, but Spanish, French, and English-speaking countries, I think, will definitely be the next on the list.
That you know of, is there any country that cannot sign up for Beachbody On Demand?
Not that I know of. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think as long as you have internet access and you can get to it, you should be able to sign up.
But Greg, if they sign up, you know, somebody in a country, you know, whatever country it is, they sign up for beachbodyondemand.com and you direct them there, won't they be assigned a different coach?
No, not if they're in another country. Beachbody just keeps them for themselves.
Oh, okay.
So that's why when we did sign up the UK, there was a process put in place where they could finally be assigned to us as coaches, right? So I had a lot of people that I've been in contact with who had Beachbody accounts, but now they could switch over to me and become my customer.
Okay, so if that ever happens, just notify them, give them your coach ID number, and tell them that they want it under you or have you as your coach, as their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Beachbody came out with a process for the UK launch, so I'm sure they'll do that for whatever country, you know.
No,
They'll like submit this form and we'll transfer you over and whatever, you know.
Okay.
My next question is, those people that are in countries that you cannot, that we cannot have them as customers, can they sign up for the challenge tracker?
I don't think so, and you're right, because I do run my challenge group on the My Challenge Tracker app. So what I do is the same thing that I did with the UK people. Is I tell them to make up a fake US address and then they can join. You know, so they can't buy anything, right? But they can at least join my challenge group. And that I did the same thing when I ran it on the message boards because only people in the US and Canada could join the message boards. But yet there were all these UK people in there because they figured it out for themselves that they just made up a US address so that they could log in and join. So is anybody else having luck? Wendy, are you having luck with the 1,500 people? Are you sending them out thank you messages?
Yeah, I send out the DMs to them. The responses I got back, some of them were definitely in my tribe. Other people were way out of it. I think I was a little bit thrown by the number of different countries and what to do with them because I had a lot of different countries saying, yeah, I'm interested in exercise, but I didn't know how to get them something. Now I do, thanks to this. I've got one from Scotland that's an ongoing conversation right now. So things are moving.
That's cool.
I was offline for a week, so kind of catching up on everybody.
Okay. What was that, Pablo? Did you say something?
Isn't Scotland part of the UK?
Yeah, yeah.
So they can be your customer.
yeah. No, I checked all of that out. I'm just starting a conversation with him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and there are a lot of countries that do already have people in other countries that do have Beachbody workouts already, and they love, they have the DVDs, most of them. They don't even know about Beachbody On Demand. So when I tell them about it, they're like, "Oh, that's awesome," and they sign up. So, what about you, Samara? Are you having luck with your conversations?
Yeah, I'm actually astounded. I mean, again, I want people to sign up because all of my people are not into working out. So I don't have that, but the conversation I had with the woman tonight, I think she'll definitely be a go because she's way into working out, which is awesome. But I've been really impressed with the quality of people, and the conversations have been amazing, even if they're not, signing up for this, but it's just really, really interesting, spiritual, amazing people. So that's been wonderful in India and South Africa. And I was thrown too by all the different countries. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have no idea what I can do. So it's good to know that they can still sign up. But it's a little it's hard to keep up with it because the phone is popping all day and I have two full-time jobs basically. So
right. And what I do, and mine is too, and what I do is I set aside like that hour, right? Just like we teach you guys, right? That power hour. It's like you don't have to be on your phone all day long, right? Just set aside an hour where you can sit down and, reply.
But it's just, I have a thing where I like to complete things. So I did end up having to set office hours, but I find that I'm still waiting until I can get through the whole, I just respond to the people who actually conversation, not just the hearts or that kind of stuff, but it's hard. I have to work against my natural tendency to want to complete something.
Right.
So it's definitely a challenge for me with this platform because it's almost impossible to complete.
Yeah, and a lot of times my conversations, they'll span over days or weeks even because we're not online at the same time, right? It's like they're messaging me during the day or at night or whatever, and I'll get on like during my hour and I'll respond to them, but then they may not be online at that time either. So I'm asking them questions and they're asking me questions, and it just continues for days until we get around to the point where I can, actually invite them or see if they're interested in my group. And if they are, then I get their email address, and a couple of days later I might add them, and, but then once they get in the group, then we can message back and forth every day. Right?
Right.
And if you guys have a Facebook group instead of the My Challenge Tracker app, you can just add anybody to that. You don't have to worry about them creating a US address or whatever, So if you get a lot of people, Wendy, that are in one of our countries, maybe it's better for you just to do a Facebook group,
Okay. Sounds good.
So
I did notice a difference when I did the $100 one. I didn't I thought I had turned on the DM, but I hadn't, of course, because it's me. And I definitely noticed a difference once I did turn the DM on, in terms of just the type of people that you get, and it just helps really generate the conversation. So anybody signing up, definitely do the $40 because that's where you can get the DM. And I had it, but I didn't click something, so it wasn't on. And it's a big difference when you have the DM, definitely.
And if you're getting a lot of people from other countries, then look at like what hashtags you're searching, because if they're hashtag fitness, right? Yeah, I mean, you could get somebody from anywhere, right? But if you're, searching on followers of, Jillian Michaels as an example, you're probably, only people who know who she is people in the United States or Canada who watch, Biggest Loser or whatever, right? So that's a way that you could probably narrow your search by, doing followers of celebrities or, Instagram people with large Instagram accounts, So like, for example, if there's, Wendy, I'm not sure what your niche is, but if there's somebody that you follow that is in your niche, right? That they have a huge Instagram following, well, you just set STEM Social up to follow their followers, right? So other suggestions that you guys have, or other things that you do for Instagram, right? I mean, obviously stories and your posts and stuff. Are you guys getting any comments or traction with that?
I wasn't at first, but then I decided in November to do a live video every day to track my journey.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I was thinking conversation. I'm always thinking that it's going to generate conversation and stuff, and it didn't. But what it generated, because usually it would be anywhere from 4 to 8 people on at whatever time I went live. But what I did notice is that now my feed in general, whenever I do go live now, just whenever I do or whenever I post, has increased. And I think it's from when I went live. So even though there was no conversation, it increased something.
Okay.
I definitely noticed, because when I used to go live before, it would be 1 person, 2 people. It would go, nothing would happen. Even when I post a story or a picture, nothing. I mean,
right.
Crickets. But now it's like a lot of volume, and I'm attributing that to having done that every day, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And I think doing like the live stories, obviously it gets a lot of views, because I know even my stories get like I'm shocked. I get like 100 people viewing them, I mean, and I don't get that on Facebook. So, I mean, if you did a video, I know a lot of coaches do their little short videos, right? And then they use like the poll feature to get people engaged. Or if you have more than 10,000 followers, you can use the swipe up feature, right? So, but if you don't have it, you could still have people drop you a comment or give you an emoji. You can ask for it, or you can give them like one of the poll features, and then you could follow up with anybody who answered yes to the poll, right? Because you could see who answered yes and who answered no. So yeah, you should try that, Samara. That could help.
Yeah. Do it again at some point.
Yeah.
After I reach my goal.
Yeah, right.
I'm actually getting more feed from the people I'm in contact with, like at the shippers and receivers. And I did like a little card, which kind of shows my transition and kind of what I do. And I asked them if they're interested, and they say, yeah. I'll hand them the card and say, you can reach me at any of these. And I've had a lot of generation off of that.
That's cool.
And mainly because I'm probably more social that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still kind of like on the computer and that. I don't converse well typing. Right.
Well, it would be better, instead of you giving your card to them, you get their information and then you follow up with them.
I do as well, but I also give them the card because it shows my transformation, and that kind of generates their thought about it.
Okay.
Because I did a transformation picture that I put on the card.
Now that's cool.
Yeah. And then, but I also I try to get their information, and sometimes they write it down for me, and when they do, they write in a way that I can't read it right. And I've tried, like this one, I'm hoping that I get back there, because she's got like 5 different ways I have tried this email, and it comes back bad address.
Oh.
Like, man. Because a lot of the people, it seems like in my group or age group, they don't do Facebook. They don't do Instagram. And so the only way I can get to them is with the business card and direct talk.
Yeah, and maybe texting would work for you, because I can tell you that a lot of coaches, like Brooke Lipoff, you guys know who she is. she took a poll and she asked her challengers, like, who would be interested in joining like a Facebook group or, you know, a chat group or whatever. And no one was interested. Everyone preferred to just, and they weren't interested in email. They all preferred to do it over text. So now she's running text challenge groups.
Oh,
Which is, yeah, I mean, that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, maybe your people, Connie, would be interested in like just, you know, staying in touch via text group, you know.
that might be interesting to. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. And it would be easier for you to get her phone number probably than her email, since that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, like I said, a lot of times I can't take my electronics into a lot of these places because they're afraid you might take a picture or something.
Right.
So
Okay.
I'm usually without the electronics, and that's why I started doing the card.
Mm-hmm. So,
Bring a notepad with you.
what's that?
Bring a notepad with you. So
Oh,
you can
yeah.
write it down
Yeah.
yourself. And you can
Right.
take that.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll wrap up. Does anybody have anything else I want to add? Okay. The other thing I was thinking is let's just take off until after New Year's. So I think that's like, because we've got next week, and then which is the week before Christmas, and then the following Tuesday is Christmas, and the following Tuesday after that is New Year's. So let's just take a break after this, and we'll get back together after New Year's. Okay.
Yeah, I get to have a whole 10 days off.
Awesome. So everybody just keep inviting, you know, just, I mean, this is the perfect time, like heading into the New Year's, right? Building that wave and that momentum. You're going to see that, you know, if you have been building and have been consistent, you're going to find so many people are interested in January, right? And that's what we all want to happen. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
Good
Hey
night.
guys.
Good
If I
night.
don't talk to you directly, Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. Merry
All right.
Happy Hanukkah, whichever it may be.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.